some fun today, man. I got another great interview coming up. My man Khoree the Poet is in the building, and you are watching it on Givin Them The Business with Gotti Lorenzo and my partner Don De Niro. Que voila. He's not here with me today, but it's all right. I will always represent him while we doing this. And, you know, I want to always thank the fans, the audience that is liking, sharing, subscribing. Please continue. And we're going to keep giving you these interviews to teach you about different businesses and how things work and just different insights. And I have a great time with these podcasts with all the people I brought on. And here's no exception today with no other than it's Khoree, baby.
It's Khoree, baby. That's right. That's
Khoree,
right.
what's good, man? How you doing?
Man, you know, blessed by the best, brother. Happy to be here with you.
Man, thank you for coming,
indeed.
man. Thank you for
Can I
coming.
say it? Can I say it right now?
Yeah.
We about to give them the business. Yeah, man. I've been waiting to say that. I've been watching your podcast, man.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it's growing, and that's the beauty. You know, it's funny, just to speak on that for a second before we get started, it's like, this is how I know it's getting bigger. When I travel now, people aren't coming up to me about music.
Right.
They're coming up to me and saying, man, I seen your podcast.
Yeah.
And that's a great feeling because that's the work you put in, and that's what, you know, that's why we do it.
Hard work,
So
baby. Ain't no
I appreciate
substitute
it. And
for
they
it.
really, everything I've been getting back has been all positive about it. And
Right.
so people really enjoy it. So please continue, tell a friend to tell a friend, and just keep getting this business as we give it.
Giving them business. Tell a friend to tune in to giving them the business.
So I want to, again, Khoree is someone that I met through my man RJ, a Grammy Award-winning producer. Shout out RJ and his whole team of producers that he works with and the whole staff that he got there. And he's has a residency at Rio in Las Vegas. And I didn't know what he did. And RJ just kept coming to me and saying, yo, this show is great. Yo, my man Khoree, this and that. And he's like, I'm in it now because he's also singing in it with you. He does a little his part. And I was like, next time I'm there, I'm coming. I'm pulling up.
Yeah.
So I had no expectation of what it is. When someone asked me, a friend asked me to come see something, I'm coming. I'm going to just check it out. After that, I'll let them know what it is. I try to keep it so it's unbiased. It's a natural vibe. To my like when I went to see it, to my pleasure, it was an incredible show that I had no idea about it. So I'm going to dive in with yourself first. How did you come about doing this, let's call it, it's R&B and poetry, so
that's exactly what
I don't know how to R&B a tree.
R&B a tree.
Yeah, we gonna come up with a new name for this. But how did you come up with R&B a tree, man?
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, you know what? Honestly, I started like every other poet, you know, just a cappella and doing open mics, and you know, and my wife, she is the one who actually had the idea to
shout out Veronica.
Yeah, that's my baby.
Yeah.
My business partner, my everything, bruh. But she was the one who had the idea to put the music behind it and the singing. Because what she said was, you know, your poetry is a little bit different than what most other poets do. You know, poetry is an intellectual thing. So she was like, you want to entertain the people and you want to add different elements to it so it can reach the mainstream. And so the people who like music, singing, and poetry, all three of them can come together and enjoy what you do. So,
you know, when I think of music, it's verses, like the lyrics is poetry. That's all it is.
Absolutely.
You know, it's just in a musical form. It's in a different kind of format with a different cadence, let's say.
Yeah.
A different cadence. But poetry, poetry is a cappella. And you just stand there and you go through it. Roses are red, violets are blue.
There you go.
You say one more thing and you know what I'm going to do.
Yeah, man. See, I like people to understand, you know, like you said, poetry is actually the umbrella.
Yeah.
And then there's different styles up under it. So I just found my own lane. And all gas to the floor, you know, we went straight ahead with it. And it's like, you know, back in the day when they used to say, rap would never be mainstream or anything like that. And here we are 50 years later. And, you know, it's doing what it's doing.
We are everything.
Everywhere.
Hip hop.
Everywhere.
Everything.
It went from rap to hip hop. I remember when it used to be just called rap. I don't know when the hip hop part came and it just took over everything when it became hip hop.
Well, you know, that's marketing. It's always, to me, it's just hip hop music.
Right.
It ain't nothing like hip hop music.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. So for the poetry, man, I added I crossed genres.
Yes.
It's no longer just I'm no longer just a poet, you know. Mm-hmm. So it's I do it with R&B music, gospel music, blues, whatever, you know, to get the message out to the mainstream. Like, look, this is coming.
Where did you grow up?
I was born in Los Angeles, South Central LA. First 15 years, and then I moved to the Bay Area.
Hoover
so
Deuce.
I was right there.
OG
you go.
Bobby Johnson.
Yeah, OG Bobby Johnson. There you go. But I was raised in the Bay, man. I moved to Pittsburgh, California when I was like 14, 15 years old. And
Pittsburgh, California.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said when I first moved there.
It's like Pittsburgh. You got to make sure they know it's California.
Hey, I got to let them know it's California. Because when I moved, I was 14. My mom said we moved to Pittsburgh.
Right.
And I was like, we're going to the East Coast?
It's going to be cold.
It's going to be cold out there. I'm from L.A. What you doing?
Yeah.
But we get up there, man. That's the very first time I've ever seen a live cow in my life, you know, coming from L.A., coming from South Central. That was the first time I ever seen a live cow when I moved to Pittsburgh. Back,
so that's like countryside. Is that
84. Well, it's a city now.
It's the city.
Yeah,
now.
it's its own little city now.
Okay.
P World is what they call it.
Okay.
P World, yeah. But yeah, man, there, Oakland, San Francisco, Fairfield, Danville. I've lived all over the Bay Area.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so Bay pretty much was raised in the Bay. Yeah, from LA to the Bay.
Man. So and in this time coming up is when you honed in on. I'm trying to see the time you started honing in.
Oh, well, I started actually writing poetry when I was in college. I went to college out there in Northern California, you know, College of Notre Dame. At the time, it was called College of Notre Dame. Now it's called University of Notre Dame, Dana Muir.
Okay.
But one of my professors was like, look, we was in a quad. He said, if anybody write a poem and go up there and say it, I give you extra credit. Yeah. I always needed it.
You still looking for extra credit to this day.
Yeah, man. So no problem. I went and wrote a little 3-stanza poem, whatever, and went up there and said it and got my little extra credit. But what got me stuck on it is that the women in the crowd was like, oh, that was great. Yeah. Oh, you know, murmur here, murmur there, talk there. And I was like, oh.
You know, there was an episode on Will Smith. You know, you was De La Ghetto.
Yeah. So, you know, I started writing 4 poems a day from that point on. I did my little pad, started writing 4 poems a day. Now, I look back.
See, this is because you was educated. You didn't want to act like you want to rap. You want to be a poet.
Yeah. I wanted to be. At first, I wanted to be a rapper. Don't get it twisted.
Okay.
I wrote a song back in 1991 called "Let's Do It." You know, actually, believe it or not, I wrote it. This is gonna sound funny. It's gonna sound crazy because it's you, but I wrote it for LL Cool J because of I heard "I Need Love," right? And I was like, well, you know, that brother can touch into his sensitive side.
Oh yeah.
You know, I can write a little something, but it wasn't sensitive. It was for adults.
It was a little vulgar.
It was a little
raunchy.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it was called "Let's Do It Again." You know, so,
why not?
You know?
Well, if you liked it the first time, why wouldn't you do it again?
Yeah. And but no, I started off with that, but then I realized that I could be a writer, but the actual delivery of the rapping, that wasn't for me.
Got it.
Yeah, and I didn't know anything about poetry. Writing poetry until years and years later when I went to college.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now how do you get into, again, I'm always in Vegas and I see residencies. How do you get a residency at a casino?
It's extremely hard.
I know.
Yeah, it's extremely hard.
And I understand the story, but it's like, how did this, you know, because, again, from the business standpoint, they want to bring people in.
Right.
The casinos want to a draw. So all these shows you see inside of casinos is because they feel it's going to attract potential gamblers.
Right.
That's the only reason they're doing it. Or it's like a 2-part reason. It's they want to attract gamblers, but they also want to give their clientele something to do to keep them in the building.
Right. They want something good.
So you go to this show, and then when you finish, you come get something to eat, or before you eat, then do the show, and then after the show, you gamble.
Right.
Lose all your fucking money.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
They did their job.
That's the goal of all the shows you see in Vegas.
Well, the resume helped a lot. The resume, it spoke volumes once they read my, got my EPK and read who I worked with and all this stuff.
So let's go to your resume.
Yeah, man. I mean, let's do it.
So what's in the resume that it spoke volumes?
I was blessed enough to, like I said, work with Lenny Williams. Me and him did a song together.
Yeah.
Did a song with LaToya London from American Idol. She was one of the finalists, I should say. Did a lot of shows. I opened up for big name people. Went on tour with Yolanda Adams on the gospel side of it, and Marvin Saps.
Sure.
Tasha Cobbs, did songs. Shout out to Rocky Mountain Promotions because they heard my song on the radio, my gospel song on the radio with Lenny Williams, and reached out to my folks like, man, we need this dude on tour. And so we reached out, and I was blessed enough to have some amazing producers, honestly.
Yeah.
And if we're going to do the resume for the producers, check this out, right? First of all, the one I'm working with now, RJ.
Of course.
Shout out to Raphael RJ too. He always said, you got to say this, of Grammy Award winning Beats How You Want Them.
Yeah. That's his company.
Yeah.
And all the guys that he works with.
That's right. His brother, Al.
I don't remember the names. At least you remember. Yeah. I didn't remember
his brother who does the video, shot a couple of my videos. Vids How You Want Them.
Yeah, Vids How
You Want Them. Yeah. And his cousin Rodney the Boss. Rodney the Boss, who still owe me a beat, but that's okay. We'll get to that. I was blessed enough to work with them, and I met him through Charlie Mack. Charlie Mack.
Charlie Mack and RJ, I have both had on this podcast already.
Yeah.
That's
Charlie
crazy.
Mack, Mr. Do Everything. Yeah, that's what we call him, Mr. Do Everything.
He do it.
Yeah, he
Shout
do
out
it.
Charlie.
So, like I said, I had some great producers. I work with my CD that's coming out is all produced by Raphael. This one is coming out. It's called Love and Lust.
Love and Lust.
Love and Lust. Yeah,
I like
man. That. And then the other producers I work with, my guy, Ant Banks, the big, he produced with Too Short and all them folks. Yeah, out of the Bay. That's my guy. So he did a couple of hip hop joints for me when I wanted to step out of the box.
And see, these records you're making aren't traditional R&B records. It's that fusion.
It's the fusion.
It's the fusion
Absolutely.
of the R&B and poetry.
It's
the R&B tree.
It's what we love to say is I am the place where R&B. Look at you, got me for to say R&B tree.
It's catchy. You gonna use it? Just pay me my money.
I am the place where give my 10%.
Not 10. Shit, not 10. Don't do that.
Don't do that to me. I am the place where music, song, and poetry mingles.
Okay.
So it's a beautiful marriage. It's nothing new under the sun. It's just how it's being done.
Right.
Because, Gil Scott-Heron done it, with music and all the last poets, they use music and all that good stuff, but it's just how it's being done.
Right.
And when I first started it with the music, one of my producers used to produce for Prince for 12 years, named Levi Caesar. He actually was the first person that really walked up to me and said, man, Prince had a whole album of poetry that he wanted to do. I need you to come and let me put music to your stuff. Man. Because you got the height, you got the look, you got the voice, and your words are just great going. And when I did it, it's like, it was just a natural. I've always wanted to be an R&B singer growing up. I just, can't sing. So that was that. But I've always hit the pockets. And that's what a lot of people miss, because poets, they do it over music, but they'll talk straight through. There's no hooks. I have hooks. There's no singing. I have singing. It's like a record.
It is seriously,
a record. Yeah,
it's a record.
It is a record.
It's a record.
So, and when I do it, I make sure I'm in that pocket though. I'm not just going through it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because I want, and what has happened is that mainstream is. They loving it.
In this part of your life, you're a full-blown artist now.
I'm a full-blown artist, yeah, man. Like I said, I done cross genres, we done sold places out, and all that good stuff. So
sure. I mean, when I went to the show, like I said, when RJ brought me, I had no expectation, and I watched basically a 2-hour show run right through. It's a play. It's not a show. Like I don't want to call it a play. A show. It's a play.
Right.
I mean, it's a musical.
It'll have elements. Yeah, have different kind of elements.
Theatrical.
In there.
It took me on different roller coaster rides from the types of records or that you created through your poetry and music and song.
Mm-hmm.
And RJ out there shaking like he want to, do something to everything moving. Like, come on, boy, take it easy.
That's the light skin in him. That's the light skin in him.
Not all these light skin niggas ain't the same now. We ain't all the same. Don't judge the book by a cover
I gotta get RJ under control all the time. You try to steal the show.
Yeah, RJ, man, he got his show game down though. He ready to perform.
Yeah.
We used to say Ja Rule does the all of the theaters, like the main event, right? He did the concerts. He said, and we did the after parties.
Right.
See, RJ's trying to be the concert. He wants to do the concert.
Yeah. He want to make somebody faint.
Yeah,
that's what he want to do. He want to make somebody faint.
Not only faint. He want him to do a lot more. He want to do something strange for some change.
That's why we only give RJ 2 songs.
Yeah.
That's why he only got 2.
Yeah. Come out with that damn bright jacket on and shit.
Yeah.
Shining, boy, you're shining.
Yeah, but it's honestly, man, it's like you. It's like when everybody actually hear it, they're blown away because most folks have a preconceived notion of what poetry. When they hear the word poetry, they think it's just going to be like.
That's why I said when he told me, and he said it was, I just tried to block my mind out. So I didn't go in there with no preconceived notion of what you're going to do. Just let me experience it.
Exactly.
And I did, and I thought it was incredible. And it's like it's something that probably should be on the road, man.
Yeah.
It's something that, have you thought about like taking it on the road?
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna get it there. We're gonna find these sponsors.
Yeah.
We're gonna find these donors or investors. And we definitely gonna get it on the road. We wanna do like, a 5-10 city tour.
You live in Vegas.
I live in Vegas. Yeah, I moved from the Bay 2 years ago.
Okay, but you live in Vegas. How, like, 'cause you have a residency, but it needs to be more than just, like, how many shows can you do? I look at it like Broadway.
Right.
Broadway ain't one day.
No.
In a month. Like, I think the show, and what's the exact name of the show?
That's we working on that because we want to. It's more likely it's going to be called.
It's Khoree Baby.
It's Khoree Baby. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh well, you want that?
That's that's the. Well, I don't have a T-shirt, but that's what it is. Because it's my journey. So,
but shouldn't it be, or have you thought about it from a different perspective? Like when I hear Khoree Baby, that's you, and you are the lead, and it's all you, but. Like it's a movement. It's like a collective, a collage of sounds and things. So shouldn't it kind of represent more of the bigger picture instead of just it's Khoree Baby?
Well, I hear.
And do you have other versions of the show? Can you do?
Oh yeah, we have thousands. I have thousands and thousands of of poems that we can put. And have different kinds of shows. It doesn't necessarily have to. It can be a social event, a social show, or things that's happening in today's time, or like I was talking the other day. Have a couple of poems. One called "How Do I Get Off These Streets?" And that's a serious poem about a young cat asking somebody, I understand what you're saying, but look at where I live and how I was raised. Then I'll go to prison, and once I get out, there's no help. They talk about rehabilitation, but there's no such thing inside. And when I get out, they talk about we'll help you get a job, but there's no help. So how do I get off these streets? Because it's all leading me right back to where I started.
Yeah.
So
I always talk about some of my ordeals with like the law enforcement or the feds, and what they said, they would always tell me like about people that I knew that might have been incarcerated. And I would just sit there to pick their brains to kind of, my lawyer would always tell me, don't talk to them. I said, I'm not saying nothing.
Right.
I'm listening. And they would say, like, they're just like fish to water. Like, and I'm like, they're telling you basically if you was incarcerated, you go to jail, you get out, you're going to do exactly what you do. You're going to go right back to it, just what you're saying. You're going to go right back to it. The only thing jail might have did was teach you how to do it a little better.
How to do it a little better.
And talk to the different person doing it. But But you know, fish to water, they're gonna be right back there, and you're gonna be right next to them.
Yeah, so we have I have all type of themes that I can go with. I can literally have 5 shows at one time, going on with different themes. You know, with other folks.
So
portraying.
you know, we've been talking. That's when you say that, I already thought about it because I asked you about genres before. About
Right.
like, you know, the name of your album you just said is Love and Lust. To me, those are 2 different topics. Those are right
It
there
is.
alone is 2 whole shows.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It definitely is. And I made the CD that way on purpose, because at some point in time, you will either lust after someone or you're gonna love someone. So the CD is like 4 or 5 love songs, and then the other one are, yeah, we're gonna get in these sheets.
Yeah,
songs.
I just need to knock that down. Let me just touch it, girl.
Yeah. Because it's funny because
And
you know,
rhyme while you say this.
you know, and touching on that, because I started off doing erratic poetry.
Oh man.
Yeah, I started off
you
doing erratic
Mr.
poetry.
Freak Nasty.
That don't even cover what I was saying.
Of course, this is Freak Nasty
Yeah.
right here.
I actually did a few shows with a friend of mine who's been doing erratic poetry her whole career, named Jessica Holter of the Punani Poets, and I did a couple of shows with them. You know, and yeah, that's how it started. But we changed it because we wanted to reach a broader, a greater audience. You know, and
Did you say you want to reach the broads?
no,
Oh,
I
my
did not. Honey, no, I did not.
What's crazy? No, but that makes me think about it because sex sells.
It does.
Sex sells.
Have always and always will.
You know, business-wise, I tell everyone 96% of all sex business is profitable.
Right.
Think about that. Any other, we're here doing podcasts, I'm sure a podcast is well below 50% of successful podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
That the amount of start, like it's probably less than 20%.
Right.
96% if you start sexual business is profitable. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
But it lets you know that human beings, that's what we are. We're sexual creatures.
Oh yeah.
And we'll indulge in all types of shit like this, like for our entertainment.
Well, we're
So when I hear you saying what you're telling me, we're in Vegas. There's
Yeah.
shows like there's always strip clubs, of course, but then the male review shit is the man from down under or whatever, Magic Mike shit.
Yeah.
You see all the billboards for
Chippendales
this
and all that stuff.
Or the Chippendales. To me, they should probably infuse this poetry and create a show.
And you know what's crazy?
And do a collabo and create it like Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah. Because when we moved here, the idea was to get a residency with what I do, and we did that. But we also was gonna have another show. I have another show. It was called Pillow Talk, and it was an erratic poetry show because it's Vegas.
Yeah, it's
Vegas. We
Vegas.
said we can get that going out here too.
Man.
And it's because we used to do the thing called Poetry After Dark, but with the music and the singing all infused now, it's definitely moved to Pillow Talk. You know, it's more sensual, it's more sexy. It's not
when
it's
you
not
say
raunchy
pillow talk,
no more.
It's not as nasty.
No, it's still there. It's just
okay.
It's just
done tastefully.
It's said differently. Yeah, it's said more seductively, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or mature.
Yeah.
What's the right word for
Yeah,
it?
there you go. There you go.
You know, the young kids, they just vulgar with it.
Yeah.
There's nothing left to your imagination.
Nothing left to your imagination, and it's like they told me a long time ago when I first started doing this erratic poetry. When I started doing erratic poetry, they said the thing with you is, by your words, you grab the ladies by. It makes it seem like you grab them by their hand, and you slowly walk them to the bedroom door. You leave the door cracked, and then you allow them to walk through.
I thought you was about to use the Donald Trump shit when you said,
you go.
You just grab him by the pussy. I was like, what is this? That's the first thing when you said you just grab him. I thought that's what you was taking, but you said by the hand.
Grab him by the hand. Lead them to the bedroom door and allow them to walk through. Yeah. You know, it's a little romance into it. You know, you gotta get them in the mood. It's very simple. If you want to,
have you been again? Before you answer, say what you're saying. I don't mean to cut you off, but have you always been romantic?
Oh yeah, that's just
That's you.
I grew up that way.
Because if you writing poetry, that means you was writing poetry to your lady friends and
when I started writing poetry.
That's what
that's when it started. But the romance is romantically probably since I was 16. I'm a Cancer, so I'm
a Cancer too.
Yeah, you know, it's all about is love, emotion, and don't mess with my family.
Yeah.
You know, protection and all that good
crazy.
stuff, all rolled up in one. You know, but I always been like romantic, but at the same time, like I said, I'm a Cancer.
Yeah,
we can get a little freaky too.
Oh yeah, don't play with it.
Yeah, don't play with it.
Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Put that in a poem.
Yeah, don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it.
Yeah, put that in a poem and you gonna cross over.
Exactly.
See, that just gave me an idea.
Yeah.
That's something you should probably think about.
Yeah.
Taking some of these hot songs.
Yeah, putting my words to it.
And then you take a little cadence from it and flip it afterwards.
Yeah.
That might be interesting.